U.S. officials are now warning that the United States could be the victim of a drone attack. Today I want to break down what is going on right now, what has happened over the past year that is just now getting reported, and how one of our Air Force bases saw 17 days straight of drones flying over, likely doing surveillance. Now today I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. What if I told you there was a massive threat to the United States, but this happened a year ago, and we are just now getting word of it? You'd probably be upset, right? Well, hold on to your hats because this is exactly what happened. Look at this. It says an unknown drone fleet breached U.S. military base airspace in Virginia for 17 straight days, according to this report. It says mysterious drones swarmed Langley Air Force Base for over 2 weeks last year. Yeah, we are just now getting the reports a year later. That is what's troubling. Now I want to read a little bit of this to you because this is where experts say we could potentially be the next victim of a drone attack. Look at this. It says for several nights last December, U.S. military personnel reported witnessing a fleet of unknown unmanned aircraft breach restricted airspace over a stretch of land at Langley Air Force Base along Virginia's shore. It says the drones would start to arrive about 45 minutes to an hour after sunset each night. One official reportedly told U.S. Air Force General Mark Kelly, who joined several other officers responsible for the country's most advanced jet fighters, including F-22 Raptors, on a squadron rooftop. Now, I want to read you what they are saying. Look at this right here. It says Kelly described the first drone he saw as roughly 20 feet long and flying at more than 100 miles an hour at an altitude of roughly 3,000 to 4,000 feet. As many as a dozen or more drones followed, flying across Chesapeake Bay and then traveling toward Norfolk, Virginia, and through a space overlooking the base for the Navy SEAL Team 6 and Navy Station Norfolk, the world's largest Navy port, according to the Journal. Now, I want to play you a clip. And before I play you this clip, I want to show you just what we're concerned with right now. Look at this. These are the concerns, okay? We've had drones fly over Nevada. Actually, it was in northern Nevada going over some nuclear testing sites. And we've had them fly over in Virginia, okay? Here's what we know. They were flying over these two areas right here. Look how close this is to the White House. It's 130 miles from Washington, D.C., okay? Look at this one right here. Okay, it says the image captured on October 11th by the European Space Agency's Sentinel-2 satellite shows Langley Air Force Base in Virginia, home of the U.S. Air Force 5th generation aircraft, including the F-22 Raptor. Now, if other people have satellite images of Langley, right, what do? Well, here's the problem. If we are setting up for something, we have new equipment coming out, new military equipment. We don't want other people knowing about it. Right? We don't want other people seeing exactly what we have and what we could potentially hit them with, right? But listen to this right here. I think this is really important. Listen to this.
These drones were large. Some of them were as large as 20 feet long. These are the sorts of drones that would have to be launched likely off of a ship offshore. They also had smaller quadcopters that came down off of the larger mothership drones that hovered just above the ground. This happened for 17 straight nights at Langley Air Force Base in Virginia, starting on Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th. And when they started, Will, what ended up happening is you had endless meetings in the White House. Instead of the warriors defending the base and defending our nation, the Biden-Harris administration dispatched battalions of lawyers to try to figure out what to do. And at the end of the day, they were paralyzed into inaction, did nothing, and then the drone flight simply stopped.
So then the drone simply stopped. Now, Here's what you need to understand. The inaction has been a problem with the current administration, okay, when it comes to taking action over our safety and the potential threats. But here's what he said. These drones would have had to been launched at sea, okay, at sea, which means they're not coming from 1,000 miles away. They're coming much closer. Now, I'm going to play a clip for you in a second. It's going to show you a little bit more, but I first want to show you a couple other things, right? Here's the reason why drones are concerning. Because what we are now seeing, okay, look at this. It says drone strike launched toward Benjamin Netanyahu's home. Israel says no injuries were reported. That was just from yesterday. We are now seeing world leaders, okay, leaders of countries, which is important personnel, are now being stalked and potentially targeted by drones. It can happen. It has happened. And look at this one. Russia's largest explosives plant attacked in huge Kyiv drone raid. This is just from today. Okay? Just from today. This is what we're seeing. That there is a drone attack. It says massive attack on Russia sees over 140 Ukrainian drone strikes 9 regions. 140. I'm not here to tell you that, drones, you don't got to worry. They just fly around, take pictures. No. That's not what we are looking at. Drones could potentially carry explosives. You fly a drone, and some drones are not that big. Very small. So you can fly it through a window. You can fly it through a door opening. Okay? You can land it on top of a house, right? At the footing of a building and potentially blow the footing where the building just comes, crumbling down, right? These are all things that are happening. I want to play you another clip though. Listen to this.
In October of last year, 5 drones flew over a little-known government site in Nevada used for nuclear weapons experiments. Then in recent months, more unidentified drone swarms, as they've been described, flew near Edwards Air Force Base near Los Angeles. And here's the doozy of them all. Last December, the biggest incursion we know, a dozen or more drones every night for 17 nights straight, circling the area of Langley Air Force Base along the Virginia shore. This is an area that includes the Navy's SEAL Team 6. I know you've heard of them. Also, Naval Station Norfolk happens to be the largest naval port in the world. A lot of classified stuff there.
So, there has been multiple drone sightings, but we are not doing much about it. Why? Why aren't we doing much about it? Well, here's the concern. This is why U.S. officials are giving us this warning. And according to reports, this is why they are telling us about these drones now after a year. Some actually were saying that they were supposed to wait until after the election. But here's the concern. We could potentially be seeing a drone strike on the United States very soon. Again, I'm not here to try to get you to just fear going out and to fear being in the United States. No, I don't want you to get worried. But I want you to understand what officials are telling us. They're telling us that we could see this. Because right now, the likely attack was a cyber attack. But when it comes to an actual physical attack, taking the lives of American citizens, it's not going to come from boots being on the ground, foreign troops landing on our shores and attacking us. That's not what we're going to see. What we are going to see is potentially a drone strike. Now, I want to play you this as well. Okay? This right here is, it's from the Department of Defense. Listen to this.
Of those UAS incursions did fluctuate on any given day, but they didn't appear to exhibit any hostile intent. It's something that
Some carefully read remarks there. I have lots of questions, so do others. Where are these drones coming from? What are the drones trying to find out about us or our bases? And how come the military didn't just shoot them down?
So, good question. Why didn't we just shoot down these drones? Especially when they're saying the drones, some of which were in excess of 20 feet. Okay? A drone that's 20 feet could easily take out a building. You put that on top of a military personnel's car, right? Gone. Put that over a F-22 Raptor, right? What would that do? Land it right on top of it. What would that do? The reason why I'm bringing all this up is simple. Number one, we are getting reports that this is a concern, or has been a growing concern for U.S. officials. But now, after seeing the attacks on Benjamin Netanyahu's home just the other day, the attacks on Russia's largest, their largest explosives plant, we know that drones can get into places where the actual U.S. military personnel can't, or other troops can't get into. But here's the scary part. According to reports, the reason why we're seeing all these different spy balloons, right, drones, why we're seeing people potentially hack into government systems and our transportation, financial institutions, right, all these things, this is because this is a test. How far can these other governments get into? Whether it's China or Russia or Iran or someone else, doesn't matter. How far can they go before they are detected? Because if you know that, if you know the limits, as long as you don't go as far as that limit, you should be good. So again, this is why experts are concerned, because they are saying that these countries now know so much about us that that's what puts us at danger. So we're going to see what happens moving forward, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.